Rick, my brother.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
Good. Good. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. We are
Is
on
it is
episode 53 today, right? Isn't that right?
yeah, I believe you're correct.
Jeez, 53 already.
I have a hard
Crazy.
time keeping track of the days. They all
That's
end in
about right.
Y.
That's about right.
You know?
So, what do you got going on? Anything good this week?
Oh, it's been crazy busy and that's quite okay because like I always tell Deb, it keeps me out of jail.
Well, that's that's a good thing. We don't want to go there. That's for
No,
sure.
no, because I'll be calling you for bail money. No,
Yeah, I'll have to wire it up there, and
I know.
honey, God, I don't even know how long it would take me to get there. But
No, but
you said some.
it's
You
been
sent a
I'm
picture of
sorry.
the no, no, that's good, that's good. I think we're kind of buffering or something, talking over each other.
Okay. No, it's
I
been
said you sent a picture up there of the turtles I saw.
I did. I sent you an update for those who
Uh-huh.
may be interested. Cuff
Yeah,
is
and
out.
let's show them up there. There's the one turtle. Which one is that on the
That
rock?
that's Cuff. He's more green. Link
Okay.
is more brown.
And now is Link in the picture? Because I can't see him if he is.
No, I haven't seen Link in a bit, but we're keeping our fingers crossed.
And then did you buy another pet here that is challenging to a race or something, or was that just
Yeah.
a wander by?
No, we got 3 or 4 of them in our backyard every night. Deb feeds them, throws them on some
Oh, there you
carrots,
go.
you know. So hey, they know where it's good.
I would say that's why they're coming back right there. I'd
Yeah.
still, it's a great looking pond, though. I love what you did there. It looks
Oh,
awesome.
thank you. Thank you. I love it, It's very peaceful and relaxing and
Sure.
you know and you get to see stuff like that. The
Right.
birds go in there and they get their drinks or a bird bath or
Right.
then you get the rabbits and the chipmunks and the squirrels. Well, I don't really care for
You're,
squirrels,
you're a
but
regular Snow White. You're like a
yeah,
Disney
right.
princess. Start calling the animals.
I know, right?
Dr. Doolittle.
Woo!
Rick Doolittle. That's your.
Yeah, right. I see 7 little guys following me. There's gonna be a problem.
Rick's
Hey,
in the
what are you
mine
doing?
right now. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's done because I know you've been super busy. You have
Yes.
like no more shirts, hats, the signs. You got all kinds of
I
stuff going on.
I am. Yeah, I am. I have to I got an order the other day and I come down to my shop and I'm like, "Oh my god. I'm out of stock." So I got to
Really?
place an order. So all those who may have ordered, I'm sorry. I got to place an order. I've been busy doing other things as
Right.
well. So just, tossing the balls
Sure.
in the air,
Sure.
see what I can catch and what I can't. So,
Now, I also know that you've been working on something pretty special that's behind your right shoulder there. The
yes,
uh the Rocky 3 and the Rocky 5 motorcycles.
that's correct. That's
So
correct.
so give us some feedback on that. I know that has been a popular item on the hitting up Rick on the Instagram list.
I never dreamt it. It was just to peel back a little bit. A year ago or so, when I did the files with Mike and Stacy, a short time after that, Mike sent me a message. He's like, "Hey, I've always wanted a Rocky 3 motorcycle."
Mhm.
And I said, "Let me see what I can come up with." And it's been a while.
Right.
So about a couple weeks ago, I got in touch with him again. I'm like, "Hey, I got something I'm working on." So these two here, hey, I did that right.
Yeah, there you go. See, we're getting good at this.
I did that right. Um,
There you go.
these two and the ones I sent Mike are first generation, if you want to
Okay.
call them. Okay, these
Okay.
are remanufactured, redone. They're not brand new, but they're like brand new. You
Mhm.
know, uh, take them all apart, reconfigure them, the whole 9 yards. They each one takes quite some time.
Mhm.
Almost a good solid week to do. Um, so I have with me my second generation,
Okay.
which I'll call it. I'll put it
Look
up
at
here.
that.
so you can kind of see it.
Look
And
at that. Look how cool that is.
I put on the other ones I have these, but I put brake lines and gas lines on there.
Get out. Oh my
I
God.
put the crash bars, which was on the other one.
Uh-huh.
Just making all these little things.
Yeah.
It's, the next thing you know, the day's gone. You're sitting there and you're just making the stuff in the days. But so this is one feature that I added that is not on the first generation. Let's see. It takes.
Gas tank looks awesome with the stallion there. I love it.
Thank you. See if you can hear this.
Oh, get out. Oh my God. I thought you was going to do like a motorcycle.
No. So I reprogrammed them
How the
to
heck did
play.
you do that? That is awesome.
Tony, I go to bed at night. My eyes are crisscrossed. My brain's on fire. I'm like, how the hell did I do that?
I'm lucky I could find that song to put it on when I'm at the gym on Spotify. Never mind, put it into a motorcycle. That's
So it
awesome.
plays the entire song, which I thought was very
Does it
appropriate
really?
for this motorcycle as well. So
Oh, that's so cool. So cool.
that is the Rocky 3 Generation 2.
There you go. That is so great. Well, you heard the man. I mean, he's got them. I mean, I know you already have a bunch of orders, so I don't want to go yelling to people to hit you up because from what I hear, you need to catch up.
Oh yeah, I've just been basically telling people, you know what, as they come in, I just, one at a time. I'm not going to rush through them.
No.
I'm not going to cheese out on them. I'm going to take my time with everyone. But I just go in order,
Right. Sure.
This will be one. This will be one of one. I'm working on this will play the whole song, so I don't know if you can hear it or not. But
that's great. That's so great.
I'm working on making a like a card, like my own type of a card of authenticity that it was
okay.
Whatever the wording is going to be. And I found a really cool picture I want to put on there with it. And just, this is like one of two,
nice.
Maybe I'll get more than one of three, but who knows?
Right.
No, it's still awesome. Fun. It's fun to me. I enjoy doing it,
And that's the key. If you enjoy doing it, it's not a chore. It's not, oh man, I got to go do this bike for this guy, and then of course the person buying it is appreciating what they're getting because you can't find them.
No,
you can't find it. Excuse me. I mean, everybody knows anybody that's looking for Rocky memorabilia, I'm sure has tried. I know I have tried. I'm sure you've tried.
Oh yeah.
Looking for a model or looking for a toy. You can find the Trans Am a lot. But yeah, they don't, it's not out there.
No. And that's what, after, Mike put the bug in my ear about it, I'm like, you know what, that would be really cool. And I tried for a very long time to do it a different way. And it was just way too. So I found this way of doing it. And, which, the other one would have taken months.
Right.
So this one works out very well. The response I've gotten has been great. And, like I said, I enjoy doing it, and I'm learning stuff, which keeps my brain fresh.
There you go.
Stuff like programming music into a toy.
Yeah. Oh my God. And what's so funny? I mean, that came out almost the summer of '82. It was May of '82. So it was, you would have thought that because they had a decent amount of merchandising for Rocky 3.
Right.
But they didn't do anything. You think they would have done model motorcycle or a pre-made one,
at least
or
a little one
to build. The little one,
little matchbox.
It's but they didn't, and that's pretty funny they didn't. I mean, you would think a movie that big, and it was a blockbuster movie. I mean, for 82,
right.
That was that Rocky. Not that Rocky 2 did not become a blockbuster, but Rocky 3, when that came out, between the soundtrack and like I said, it came out right before the summertime. It was huge. And the Eye of the Tiger song.
Right.
It was everywhere.
Right. And the only one I've seen was on Heritage auctions years ago. And that was like one of a kind, and it sold
Mhm.
for big money,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I made it as very close as I possibly could. Is it to the T? No, but it's to my T.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
Well, like I
So
said, I mean, when you have a movie that's a blockbuster like that, you're going to do merchandising, you're going to do promoting, you're going to have the McDonald's cups and the
oh yeah.
whatever it may be. And let me see here, the first summer blockbuster that really took the world by storm.
Oh yeah. I know where you're
Do you hear,
going.
do you hear something?
I do. Oh, wait. I think I do. Oh, I do. I
He's
hear
gone.
something.
Something got Rick. You gotta prepare me for these things.
Dude, I never want to prepare you.
Oh my god, that is awesome. I honestly thought your camera fell.
Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
It is. This was the first summer blockbuster. I don't know if we'll get hit with a copyright with this, but we'll find out. Let's shut that off before it goes on too long. They could hear it.
Okay.
That was the first summer blockbuster. And that merchandising was everywhere. It was on T-shirts and cups and granted, the fast food chains weren't as prevalent, as many of them as there are now.
Right.
There was video games. There was the big stand-up video games. There was everything. And it came out right before the summertime. So people were at the beach. It was messing with
Right.
people's heads.
Oh yeah. Tony, I didn't want to go in the swimming pool.
No. And I'm sure everybody knows what we're talking about by now. And that is Jaws.
Oh.
Mr. Steven Spielberg's Jaws made me not go in the water for how old am I? 57. So I was 9. I was 9 when that came out. And I remember like I felt really weird the second I went in the water, but then as soon as I needed to tread water, it freaked me out.
Oh, I bet.
And I've been like that ever since. I won't go in the water.
Right. We were down in where was it? Daytona Beach a bunch of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you're walking out and it was like knee deep,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, boom, and there's this channel. And I'm like, oh
Yeah, it does. It freaks you out.
Yeah.
I mean, Spielberg, here's a picture of Spielberg messing around on set. Look how young he is.
I don't even know if I would have done that because I would have been afraid the damn shark would have bit me.
I know, right? I know. The great part of, God, you got the perfect storm with this picture. You really do. Obviously, you just heard the main theme from that song done by the great John Williams, who also did Star Wars and Indiana Jones and among many others. You add that music with the murkiness of the water, and then you didn't see the shark a lot in the beginning of the film.
There was a reason for that, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know the reason.
Yeah,
I know the reason, but
oh yeah.
Because they had so many mechanical issues with Bruce, right? Bruce the shark.
Mm-hmm.
They wound up filming a lot of scenes, correct, without the shark in it, which then added more what's the word I'm looking for?
Suspense or more
suspense. Thank you.
Yeah. It definitely gave the Hitchcock feel to it. Hitchcock was very famous for, showing you there was a bomb under the desk and then not showing it to you again throughout the entire dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's there and you're kind of freaking out and something like you didn't need to see the constant thrown in your face, the shark. And from the minute where the girl goes swimming in the opening scene, there she is there.
Oh yeah.
And she gets that initial pull under. You don't see the shark.
No,
it's not even you don't even see. Well, you don't see the blood because it's nighttime, but you see her getting flailed around and thrown around and pulled under, and then it's just quiet. And that's the opening of the movie. It was a book before a film.
Right.
It was made based off of the Peter Benchley's novel, which was a blockbuster novel. And I did reid the book. Did you happen to read the book?
I never did. I was just about to ask you if you did. Yeah. Did the book follow, or did the movie, I should say, did the movie follow the book?
Excuse me, mostly.
Mostly.
There was definitely key parts that it did not, especially
Okay.
towards the end, which I won't say anything in case somebody wants to read the book.
I do want to read it.
Again, it's been around for 50 something years, but still. Um, so yeah, towards the end is where most of the changes that were made for the film, some of the things in the middle. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't verbatim, but it definitely had a handful of changes where you're like, where if you go back, see, I didn't read it before. I was young. I was 9 years old. I wasn't supposed to see it.
Okay.
I
Oh,
snuck into the movie theater when it came out.
oh, so I got to send you bail money.
Yeah, exactly. My friend and I, we were 9 years old. We were in the theater seeing some kid film, and then we were going to leave, and the boys that I was hanging out with, his older brother was going to see Jaws. So we just turned around and went back in.
Oh,
You
nice.
know, when you're already in the theater, they don't check your ticket again.
Right, right.
So we just went and saw Jaws.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was 9, man. It freaked me out. I was like,
Yeah, no wonder it scarred you for life.
I know,
9 years old.
I know, I know. But he, the writing, the filmmaking, everything about it. I mean, obviously, everybody knows the trio, which you have
Dreyfus.
Matt Hooper. Yep, you got Quint. You got Sheriff Brody,
Yeah.
which is Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw. Yep.
Yeah, and they were perfectly cast.
Oh yeah.
You know, the acting on them was just top notch. But again, you didn't know what to expect because of you didn't see it. The shark. I mean, you knew it was a shark for a variety of reasons. The
Right.
book told you it was a shark before a movie came out. The poster wasn't like it is now, where they was secretive about it. I mean, the poster was in the theater was this. So I mean,
Right.
you knew you knew what was eating people.
Right.
But again, you didn't see it a lot, and that's what I guess freaked everybody out.
And talk about things going, south, but working out for the best.
Mhm.
Because, like you said, if they had kept on throwing the shark in your face, would it have had the same suspenseful effect?
Agreed, and I don't think so. You know, it's kind of like a lot of stuff with Rocky that happened that made it a better film. You know, Bill Conti coming on and doing the score for Rocky made
Hmm.
it a much better film than what they were trying, with Jimi Hendrix and whatever other
Right.
things you heard the rumors about. So yeah, between the John Williams score, the shark not working, Spielberg being Spielberg, even though he was young, he was still talented in doing what he was doing in his framing, in his panoramic shots, some of the foreshadowing that was coming up. He nailed it. He just
Did
nailed it.
I did I hear that correctly that they flooded a parking lot in one of the studios?
I don't know. I never heard that. I don't
Okay.
know.
I thought that that's how they filmed it, that they flood. Maybe I'm thinking of Titanic. I can't remember, but
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. No, they were up in New England area. It was supposed to be summer, but it was more towards fall, so it was very cold.
okay.
And it was filmed mostly up there on location.
Oh.
Matter of fact, after that, Spielberg even said, he goes, "I'll never do a movie with water again." He's like, because it's just so difficult.
Yeah.
It's so difficult. But I mean, I was trying to piece together today on how, everything we talk about on round 14 has a round 14 moment.
Sure.
For every movie we've discussed, of course, Rocky stuff, Sly stuff. So I'm thinking today, I'm like, well, how the heck could this apply with this film?
Okay.
And the only thing I came up with was on how Brody was deathly afraid of the water.
Okay. Yeah.
He didn't even want to go on the water. Remember, he was joking around. He's like, "You live on an island," and he goes, "Yeah, only if you look at it from the water." He did not like the water, and he's out on the boat. He was the last one. Again, guys, we're not giving anything away. This movie's 58 years old.
Yeah.
48 years old. I'm sorry. Um, and he winds up almost sinking with the ship, and then he takes out the shark. So it's like that's what he could have just gave up.
Oh
He
yeah.
could have not. He could have not got up off the mat. He could have been like, you know what? He already ate Quint.
Yeah.
He thinks Hooper's dead. He's like,
Right.
just whatever, man. I'm done.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He
Well, that's
didn't.
that fight or flight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good thing he was a good shot. So
Absolutely. Right. But I
but
know You
Go
know
ahead.
the scene when he does the fingernails down the
Oh
chalkboard.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, that's still I can still hear that noise on in my brain.
How fun! I mean, think about that scene though. It's so realistic to the common man in a beach town. These
Mhm.
people, that's their life. I mean, they from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Right.
That's it. That's their entire life. So you're going to shut the beaches down. They're going to
Oh
lose
no.
a year's worth of economy, but they're not thinking of it. They're thinking, oh, it's a shark out there. What's the chances? And he just comes in and tells everybody to shut up by dragging his fingernails down the
Yeah.
chalkboard.
And there was no normal shark either.
No, God.
You know,
Remember
they call it,
when they first showed him? Remember how they showed him from above
yeah.
and you saw him go by? And Hooper's like, that's a 20-footer. And Quint
25.
goes, 25. 3 tons of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just amazing.
And then my
Amazing.
favorite saying of all times, we're gonna need a bigger boat.
That
I
was
said
right.
it
These
last
two scenes
episode.
right here. So this is the first time you really see the shark. He's chumming
Right.
the waters. He's complaining. He's like, oh, yeah, go slow ahead. How'd you come down and chum some of this shit? And then all of a
Yep.
sudden he sees that and Brody just jumps up, backs, backs up into the cabin, and he got it right here.
Yeah.
He looks at Quinn. He's like, you're going to need a bigger boat. Quinn's looking at him like, what are you talking about, man? And then they went out and they saw him.
Right.
And then remember he went back in and he's like, we're going to get a bigger boat, right? We're going back to get a bigger boat. Like
Yeah.
that's all he cared about.
I know. I would too. I'd be like, okay, let's get the princess, whatever it is there from
Oh,
the Love Boat.
Lord.
The
Well, it's
Pacific
just so
Princess.
funny. I mean, the way the whole thing was set up, the mayor wanted to keep the town open, and then of course the little boy gets eaten while all the people are there for the 4th of July weekend.
Right.
And
Then they painted the shark on the billboard.
yeah, they're paying the shark. He's like, remember he goes, I'm just trying to do what's best for the people. And Brody's like, do what's best for you're mayor of Shark City. He's like, look at
Look at
this.
that.
He goes, your summer's over, pal.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so funny. It's
And then
true though. You
and
know
then
how
the
those
kid,
people would have been.
remember the kid was wearing the back thing
Oh,
there?
the fake fin.
Yeah. Everyone was yelling, shark, shark, shark. And then what was it? The girl on the other side of the beach or the other side of the pier,
Uh-huh.
she starts yelling, and that's when all hell broke loose again.
Yep. That's when that's when the guy tried to row over to the boys.
Right.
And he got knocked off the boat there. I
Yeah.
mean, there wasn't a lot of killing. There wasn't a lot of gore. I mean, there
No.
was. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like it's not like if you're queasy or squeamish or you don't like something like that. You got the girl in the beginning. You got the little boy on the raft. You got the guy who was rowing over. They bit his leg off. Remember when Brody went out on the boat with Hooper, and Hooper went scuba diving down there, and then the
Yeah.
head popped out.
Yeah.
So there was like 5 deaths.
Yeah. It wasn't.
Remember, and he had that shark tooth that was about that big.
Yeah. Right.
But there wasn't a lot of, it was just it was a thriller more than a horror movie or a scary movie. It just got into your head, and Quint is, like Hooper says, Quint is the, what's with this working class hero nonsense, and he's the tough guy who's not putting a life preserver on again and
Yeah.
telling the stories about the USS Indianapolis.
Oh my God. That was a hell of a story.
Great scene.
Just
Great
that
scene.
story alone would keep me out of the
Yeah.
freaking water.
Yeah.
And
the way he tells it so matter of factly, it's like,
yeah,
it's about 8 hours before the sharks started to come. People, they were taking 2 or 3 at a time. It just, you couldn't imagine that. No.
I mean, well, I'll jump off a little bit, but there was another movie, Open Water, where to a couple, a man and a wife were left out to sea from a diving expedition.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who's seen that movie knows how that plays out. But that alone, just being that, I don't know, vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Yeah. I was just thinking the same word. Vulnerable. And you're a speck. You're a
Yeah.
speck. There's no land around you. I mean, that open water, let's touch base on that since you brought that up. There's very few other shark films that have been decent, never mind as good as Jaws. And I'm not saying that's, it's really not fair to compare them to Jaws. You don't compare every horror movie to some of the great horror movies, or you don't compare every mob movie to The Godfather and stuff like that.
Right.
But for the most part, they've sucked. So it's, but open water, I mean, could you imagine when you're scuba diving down there and you're on vacation and you're taking pictures and you're looking, oh, look at this. And then you come up and there's just nobody. You're looking around, there's no one.
That would,
I
yeah,
would have had a heart attack.
yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine what, and I have a friend who actually his friend that happened to, like, in the Bermuda or something like that. And they got back into port and they were like, where is so-and-so? And they went right back out and they went to the same location and found them.
Oh, geez.
But I mean, for that couple hours,
you don't know what's down there, man. I'm telling you right now, we have no clue. We have no clue. No. There are sharks a lot bigger than we can imagine down there, or there's just a lot of things down there that could eat us. I don't care what it is. So
right.
No, that's all right. I'll take my little ankle surf bath and I'm good.
Well, like I always say, I'm like, I see these things that says top 10 ways to reduce the risk of a shark bite. I'm always surprised. Number one is stay out of the water.
That's it. Number one.
Because
I mean, it's been all over. I don't know if the sharks are just, cool, it's summertime. Let's increase our popularity. Let's be all over the news. But they're everywhere. They always have been everywhere. I love when people say that. Oh, it's okay. You can swim over there. There's no sharks over there. What? Was there a door that they need to show a membership card to? I don't understand. What do you mean there's no sharks over there? You can't keep them out.
Yeah, there's no water over there either. Yeah, that's craziness.
I mean, some sharks are more prone to being in certain areas. Like down here, New Smyrna Beach is literally the shark attack capital of the world, of the country. I'm sorry.
Well, I've been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
I never saw a shark when I was there. And I think I told the story a long time ago, but real quickly, we were getting ready to go visit down there. And Deb was looking for a health food store. And she's like, well, she was talking to the person at the health food. And she says, I've heard a little bit about the shark attacks down there. She's like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. My daughter got bit yesterday. No big deal. Like, what?
It's okay. It's all right. No, there's more. And bull sharks are very aggressive. They're more aggressive. The great white shark has all the sex appeal, has the movie behind it. Plus, it's massive. They're 15, 18, 20 feet. The bull sharks are, 7, 8, 10, 12 feet. They're smaller. They're not as pretty, I guess you could say, but they are much more aggressive. And that's where there's I don't know the numbers, so don't quote me on the numbers, but let's just say every year there's 500 bull shark attacks in New Smyrna Beach compared to the second place, which would be wherever, and there's like 10.
Oh, no kidding.
And those aren't exact numbers. I'm just trying to give you an example.
Yeah.
So, long story short, you want to go in the water, you just got to understand you're going to share your space with them and be okay with that.
Well,
I know it was a movie and it freaked me out, and I'm not saying it to be funny. I don't go in the water. You could ask my wife and my kids, because I don't want to be in the water and then I had this happen. Oh, okay, that's a problem.
Well, like I always told my kids and whatever when we went to the ocean, I'm like, just remember, the further you go out, the lower you drop on the food chain.
That's it. It's crazy. Yeah. But you're right. I mean, there was very few shark movies that were decent. Open Water was very good. There was
but that was based on a true story, wasn't it?
That I don't know.
I think it was.
I know there was the Meg with Jason Statham. There was 47 meters down. Is that another one, right?
That's with Sistine.
Yeah. That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I have not seen those. After I saw, Jaws, I was little. And it was just funny because I was just telling Deb the other night, I'm like, I want to really watch Jaws again. It's been so long. But after I watched Open Water, I was like, I want, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, it definitely took off. And, of course, everybody wants to copy the blockbuster. It was one of those movies that came out of nowhere that made $1 gazillion. It dominated the summer, dominated the rest of the year. And then that in that mid 70s, a lot of people started making, of course, copycat movies.
Yeah.
With that were poorly done, or they were doing a different version of Jaws. Instead of in the water, there was one called Grizzly, and he was in the woods, and it was a bear. There was one about a giant alligator. There was one about piranhas. There was this rash of like animal kill people movies.
Right.
So with their success, that's what happens. And of course, the sequel is, that's a given. Whenever anything's that big, they're going to make a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, Jaws did not have the great success like Rocky or Indiana Jones or Star Wars, where the sequels were good enough to keep you there. Jaws 2 really didn't hit home as much anymore. Didn't really have the same appeal or the same bite. And then Jaws 3 was just
atrocious.
Very bad.
Was there a Jaws? Was that Jaws 3D?
3D. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Dennis Quaid. It took place in a SeaWorld like environment.
Yeah.
It was just horrible.
Yeah.
But, you take away Spielberg, you take away, the writers, you take away all the good people that made that movie great. What do you think is going to happen?
Right. I mean, the one thing I do remember from Jaws 2 was, they were going out to the island. I think it was towards the end where they found the power line. He was hitting the power line with the oar. That was like one of the more suspenseful parts of the movie. But other than that, a lot of it just kind of. And then there was another one where it was in the Caribbean. Was it Jaws 4?
That was the revenge.
Yeah.
like he knew who was down there. Yeah. Oh, wait, she went on vacation. I'm going down there.
Yeah. You killed my dad. Oh, God.
Exactly.
Like they have a thought better.
Exactly.
No,
but yeah, man. It was the first one of its kind to do that. There was no movies before then that. After that, everybody wanted to make the summer blockbuster. And everybody really now it still happens to this day.
Oh yeah,
happens.
It's a copycat thing. Someone does it, and everyone's gonna. Well, like we talked about before, sometimes it just seems like they've run out of ideas as well. Or just trying to make the $1 million or whatever off of I don't know, the big large snake movies or the anacondas and piranhas and whatever.
Right. Well, the thing of it is too, sometimes this stuff just it works its way around and sits on a shelf in limbo for a long time. A lot of times what'll happen is, so I write a screenplay, you like it, you're the head of Warner Brothers Studio, and you're like, I love it. I'm gonna buy your I want to buy your script.
Okay.
$200,000. Well, let's use Sly as the example. Say Sly did sell his script and did not make Rocky. He sells the script. He takes his $250,000. He leaves. They take it. They may not make it right away. That thing may sit there in developmental hell. Like just let's cast this one. Well, they're busy. Let's cast this one. He won't fit. Let's do that. Let's get this director. Well, he said he won't work with this one, and sometimes it'll sit on a shelf for years.
Right. Or it could run into the situation what happened to you. Where you had a great idea.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can tell that story. You did it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Long story short, I mean, I wrote a screenplay about a baseball player, an aging baseball player. Well, that was one of the scripts I wrote, and that was one of the scripts I decided to pitch to Jerry Bruckheimer. And he loved it. Thought it sounded great. He loved the passion of the film. But he had just bought The Rookie, that script with Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
So he's like, I can't go making 2 baseball movies, And then granted, I mean, I could have, I pitched it to a few other people, and we're not interested. We're not interested. We're not interested. But it is what it is. But yeah,
Well,
it could be that way.
You could have pulled an Arnold on him like he did to Sly. Well, hey, Bruckheimer's going to make one.
That's true. That's true. I should have. Bruckheimer's making this baseball movie, man. You want to go up against him,
Yeah,
That would have been funny if that worked. All right.
Hey.
I actually had to talk about that with Gina sometime. Like, what happened? What do you think would have happened if it worked? Like, if we did sell the script, like, would we have still been out there? Would we, what would have happened?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Stop her. I'll throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Right.
Only kidding, Sly. I loved the movie, by the way. I thought it was great. No matter what
he understands. Trust me, he definitely understands about that film.
I like that movie. I don't get it. We like that movie.
I mean, it's not hard. It's tough to see sometimes when you're watching. It's just like Rhinestone. Like, I'll watch Rhinestone, and it's a funny movie. It's this and that. Dolly Parton, she's hysterical. He's doing a goofball job on singing, but it's like, it's not, to me, that's not Sly. You watch another movie that people may not like, be it Paradise Alley or something, that's more of his style of film. But he had, he tried the comedy route.
Well, it's got its place. It's got its moments when you're like, I feel like watching this. The one that I just can't is Oscar. And I know we're way off base now, but here we go. We're going to be one of those people.
It wouldn't be a show if we didn't do that, right?
I know. What do they call those people who work at the railroad trains and they derail them or whatever? They switch the tracks. We need one of those people. We need a track switcher. Switchman.
I'm telling you. But back to Jaws. Yeah, it was the biggest film of the year. It led to a lot more. It put Spielberg on the map, thank God, because look what he has done since.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he made so many. That'll have to be an episode of itself one time, covering his filmography, because he's one of my favorite directors, him and Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's when you release a movie like that, it has that much talk about it, and that much, you didn't see it yet. Oh, you got to see it. And there was no social media back then, so you didn't know the ending. You didn't know certain things, so it was, you just got to see it for yourself.
But let me point this out, and it's something and I know everybody watching knows. But just like Rocky, here we are in 2023, creeping up to 2024. How relevant is Jaws to this day? Yeah. I mean, this is something that came in the 70s, right?
75.
75.
Yep.
Who doesn't go to the ocean or go to the water and goes dun 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 dun?
Yep. Exactly. It's funny you said that, because I mean, how many themes are that well known that even if you didn't see the film, you know what that is?
Right.
You did not see it.
Yeah. Yep.
Every single person that's ever gone in the water does a little shark thing, goes dum 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 dum. They know it. And you're right, absolutely right.
Just so relevant to this day. I mean, there's Rocky, there's Jaws, and there's a handful of others that just, when you're running up a flight of stairs, you're and you go to the water.
Quentin Tarantino said it was the most perfect movie he ever made.
Yeah. Crazy.
And if you really break it down, I mean, I remember they showed that we studied that film when I was taking film class in college.
Oh, no kidding.
We took 3 days. We watched that film for 3 days. We broke it down piece by piece.
Okay.
And it really is. It's so well done. It's so odd and how somebody could be that good at what he does, and he was so young and didn't do much previous, and little training. I mean, so it's goes to show you either you're that talented or you're not, I guess.
Right, but the scene when Hooper is sliding down the boat,
Quint,
right? Or Quint, you're right. Yeah. I'm sorry. When Quint is sliding, I'm reaching for anything. I'm grabbing shit off the shelf.
He's kicking, he's punching, he's just, I mean, the mouth is this big, he's sliding down, he's this big.
Your imminent doom is coming, and you're
right
helpless.
Right
that
there.
resonates with you, to me, in the pit of my stomach. Like,
well, and even watching it, even you're just watching it, you're pushing, you're like,
I
oh my
know.
God.
So I'm saying, I'm like grabbing stuff. I'm like, no.
It's crazy.
Oh my
Crazy.
God. Yeah. What a
Very
great
well done.
movie. What a great
No,
movie.
it's fantastic. Fantastic movie. And so yeah, summertime's here. Shark Week's coming up this weekend.
Oh
So
yeah.
we could catch some more sharks if you want to go watch Discovery Channel. I don't know if you
Did
watch
you
Shark Week at all.
did you see those the Life magazine? I remember I was telling you. And then
Yeah.
the
Oh, I
Mad Men.
did. I
Okay.
did. I did.
Okay.
I have the Life one. And I did see the Mad magazine one.
Okay. Was I right?
I haven't seen that Mad magazine in forever.
The shark was coming up and his tongue was
Yeah,
hanging out.
his tongue was hanging out.
He's
like
going,
a dog.
and there's Alfred E. Newman swimming.
Well, you know what? I think summertime, it's still, the 4th of July, it's the beaches, it's it's that air about the time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think of Jaws. You can't go
Right.
without it.
Right.
Can't go without it.
And like you said, I can't even imagine in Florida. We're hearing about it in New York. It's on the news all the time. And not only that, but like on Instagram, I've been, I clicked on one shark that was swimming, and now I'm getting like all these things sent to me about sharks.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, I get it. I'll make sure my pool water's clear.
There's so many of them. I don't know what's going on. I'm not gonna sit here and speculate what's going on. I'm not a marine biologist,
no,
or an oceanographer or anything, but it definitely seems. You know what though? I think that, and this is just my opinion. I think that we're seeing a lot of them, and we're seeing a lot just because I think just more people are videoing them, and more people are having their phones now. More people are on social media. They're just.
Well, you very well could be right.
And I'm not saying that that's the only reason we're seeing more of them. I mean, it is something that's a little. It'll come in waves where you don't hear about it at all. Next thing you know, 5 or 6 times over the next 2 months, you hear about things.
Right.
Like locally, there was a great hammerhead right by us in Dunedin. There was a whale shark in Sarasota, which they're harmless, but still, they're not around here.
Yeah, I was gonna say whales or whale sharks or.
Yeah, whale sharks is harmless. You could lay on top of that thing, but but they're not around here normally.
But there was just one, or there's been several in Nantucket in Cape Cod area, which is, over the past, I don't know, maybe 10 or plus years, has been very prominent. Sly wasn't just in Cape Cod area, Nantucket.
Yeah, it was up there 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
he knew to stay out of the water.
Exactly. See, he knows.
Christine told him, "Don't go in the water.
Don't go in the water." That's it. How can you prevent it? You don't go in the water. That's how.
Yeah.
How I do it. I stand right there. When my girls were little, they thought I was playing around. Oh, come on, just come in. I'm like, no, it's okay. And then when they got older, they understood.
Well, let me tell you, I saw one of those videos on Instagram. There's this guy and this older guy, older woman. They're on the beach, right? And they're just standing by the water's edge. And there must have been a drone or a helicopter or something like that. And there was a big shark, and he wasn't 5 feet away, swimming in the water. I mean,
that's just it. I mean, our water is very clear. I've showed you pictures of our water.
Yeah.
But you still can't see only so far.
Right.
You can only, you're standing there. You can only see so much far away. The worst is when it's a dolphin, and you see the dolphin fin and you have a heart attack. You're like, oh, it's a dolphin. All right. The one time I was yelling at the girls to come in, I'm like, get out of the water, and it was a dolphin. Like, oh, it's a dolphin.
Well, yeah, you don't know. You
look. Well, the dorsal fins are very different. The dolphin's dorsal fin is very curved.
Okay.
A shark's fin is not as curved. It is almost like a triangle. It goes up to a slight curve, and then it comes straight down. The dolphin's dorsal is very curved, and then comes down a little bit. Okay. And also, a dolphin doesn't have the tail fin because their tail fins are flat like this.
Oh,
a shark has a tail fin like that.
Okay.
So if you see the dorsal and the tail fin, that's
get the hell out of the water.
Yeah, you see the dorsal and you see nothing. it's usually a dolphin. So
Oh,
that's
boy.
my little tidbit for Shark Week. Everybody enjoy.
Unless it's Sharknado, right?
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another one. See what happens? You go from Jaws to Sharknado.
Oh,
That's
boy.
that's what happens.
Boy, did we go to a new low.
Well, it was a good episode as always, though. We always have a good time, no matter what movie we're talking about.
Absolutely. Thanks
And
for
the round
indulging
14
me.
can apply.
Do,
Oh
do,
my
do,
God.
do, do,
I
do, do.
I really thought your camera fell when the music was on. I'm like, why is it taking him so long to fix the camera? Oh, that's funny.
I like to keep you on your toes.
That's okay. That's all right. Well, guys, as
And
always, we thank you for watching. Appreciate you coming
absolutely.
on and give Rick a little bit of a break. Let him catch up on making some things, then hit him up for some shirts and hats and maybe even another
Absolutely.
motorcycle. So,
Thank you.
all right, brother. We'll see everybody next week.
You got it.
All right,
Take
man.
care.